Hello and welcome to my weekly video blog, and today on A Vogel Talks Menopause I'm going to be talking about is tingling in the extremities a menopause symptom. If you like my tips and advice, then please subscribe and remember to hit the bell icon so you can be notified of all my new videos. This is actually quite a common one. It's one of those ones that sort of took us a little bit by surprise because it's not something we would normally look at. But today what I thought I'd do is take a little peek at it, see how this can happen and what you can do to help yourself. So first of all, what do we mean by tingling? How does this feel? So it can be a little bit like, sometimes you get cramp if you've been lying in bed and maybe you've been lying on your arm and you get that sort of tingly feeling in your fingers. So it can be that kind of tingling. It can happen in the hands, it can happen in the feet, it can happen in the legs and sometimes the arms as well. It can also be definitely a pins and needle feeling. It can be quite uncomfortable. It can also, some women liken it to sort of electric shocks almost. You just get a sudden surge going up your arm or up your legs. It can be a sort of creepy, crawly feeling that's under the skin. So you can't actually feel anything on the skin, but there seems to be something going on just underneath the skin. For some people as well, it can be all over tingling. And this is something that's called paraesthesia, if I've got that right. But obviously that's something that may be a little bit more serious. So what can cause these types of symptoms? Very often it's just a sign that your nervous system is struggling. The nerves are not maybe firing as efficiently and as quickly as they could. And we do know that fluctuating estrogen, especially if it dips really quickly, can affect the nervous system and cause all these kind of skin sensations. It could be poor circulation. And again, we know with the changing and decreasing hormones, your circulation can be less efficient. It can be less robust. And if you're not getting circulation, enough of it to the tips of the fingers and the toes and the feet, then that can affect nerve function there too. It could be the fact that the little blood vessels in the fingers and in the feet, they are so tiny, these little blood vessels, that they can only take one red blood cell at a time. And your red blood cells help to take oxygen to the tissue in your toes and your feet. So if you are not getting enough oxygen, again, the nerves are going to be affected. It could be nutritional deficiencies. So that could be your B vitamins. And remember, your body needs more of everything as it goes through the menopause. So if you're not getting enough B vits, if you're not getting enough magnesium, even vitamin E and low vitamin D, all of these can affect the nerves. And one of the main symptoms of vitamin D deficiency is tingling in the extremities. It may well be that you're just not moving enough. If you're really tired, if you're fatigued, if you're sitting a lot at a desk during the day, your circulation is going to get really sluggish, and that in itself is going to affect the nerves. It could be very specific health issues, and we know that in the menopause certain health conditions can manifest just due to all the physical changes that are going on. Hormonal diabetes is one, and we know that diabetes can affect the circulation and the nerves, especially in the lower legs and the feet. It could be thyroid issues. Many women end up being borderline low thyroid, and that can cause the tingling. It could be the return of an old injury. And remember, this is something I have talked about, that health issues and injuries that happened, maybe even in childhood. You could have broken your ankle at some point. And what happens when the hormonal changes go on, these old injuries resurface. So it's always worth bearing in mind that if you're getting tingling or nerve pain in a particular area, is just to see whether you've had issues with this maybe many, many years ago. It could be to do with high blood pressure or low blood pressure. It could be things like hardening of the arteries or high cholesterol. So with these health issues, and this is one of the things that we do, really put a point on, is that you need to get these things checked out by your doctor. You're more prone to things like high blood pressure, high cholesterol, hardening of the arteries as you go through the menopause. And these things can end up leading to heart problems and heart disease. So this is one we always say to women: get a general health check by your doctor just to rule these things out. The other things that you can look at is support your nervous system, loads of magnesium, take a vitamin B complex 50 milligram supplement. The B-vits are great because they help with brain function. They can also help if you're a little bit fatigued too. We could look at circulation. If you also get cold hands and feet, or you're prone to things like Raynaud's disease, which obviously could affect nerve function, then you could look at the herb ginkgo biloba. Regular exercise. Remember, sitting can stagnate your circulation, so regular exercise, even a 15-minute walk a day, a brisk walk at some point, can help to improve the circulation, and that can help to improve the nerves, especially in the feet and the legs. Do stretching, maybe try and do a little bit of stretching when you get up in the morning. I tend to do my yoga when I get up, and I feel that, a good 20-minute stretching session sets me up for the rest of the day. And remember the water, because dehydration can be a factor in this too. So I hope this has helped. It's quite an interesting menopause symptom. If any of you have experienced this and you have found things have helped you, please do share them, because we'd love to hear all about it. And until then, I will see you next week for another edition of A. Vogel Talks Menopause.